Hey, welcome everyone. It's GleeCon, and I am back. Happy as ever to be here with you guys. On our last episode, we turned in all of the things that an Alliance character might have to turn in after completing the Wailing Caverns, and because we had a little bit of time to spare, we kicked on over to sit out front of Shadowfang Keep, which is the next thing that our Alliance character will do. But we're going to continue working on the quest. We still have a little bit, maybe 2 episodes worth of quests left in the Barrens, so we're going to do that. And we also took a peek to see if old Harvey, the Harvester, was there. That's what I've named him, my mascot of pain and RNG suffering. Stay a while and listen. Old Harvey the Harvester. I think he's a perfect mascot for Classic. I have yet to find a rare spawn. I'm sure they exist, but I have yet to find a rare spawn that is as painful. Really got to do something about this mouse. The sticking of the... It's either a lack of... that's what kind of made me swivel like that. Either a lack of... those are dead swarmers, which is a sign that I'm not finding the Harvester. Because were the Harvester to be here, they would have been snatched up already. So we'll go ahead and still peek. I'm nothing if not determined. And I did not do what I said I was going to do yesterday, which was hop on a couple times and search. I guess I haven't hit desperation enough. Actually, I am. Sometimes I put this pressure on myself, especially when you're doing a completionist thing like this. Oops, I went the wrong way. And there is a little bit of desperation element to... I'll go ahead and check this side of the road first. So I'm back with my dry run in Gann. So that's pretty much where we left off. So my trial characters are pretty much caught up. I've done the full quest run. Oh, I was on the other side of the road, maybe? Maybe that's what happened. Yeah. Okay. So someone was hunting the other side of the road. There's usually, like I said, I think there's just more potentials. Look at this person just farming. Any harvesters out here? These are trolls. So I don't know. If they did happen to see the harvester, I would just want to be able to run in and get a tag on it. But yeah, no dice. Looks to be no dice for us. So yeah, I must have been on the other side of the old. And they're doing the same thing. Just making... That's what I have to imagine that people are doing, is just a full, constant harvester loop. That's it. Just take a peek for the old harvester. It's just such a... There are people... It does make my heart warm because it lets me know there are people out there like me that are these, crazy completionists. Alright, so we're going to go and pick up everything that is up to level 26. You can also look at Eon Swift Strider. I'll put that in the group chat. See if we can get anyone. I think even if we get like one other person, we will be in good shape. And I'm not the harvester is 24, so that is within our realm, but I'm not going to make that hold up our life. Now there's a small chance we could try. If we get clever, there are ways to isolate the person from this pack and take them down. It is possible. And unfortunately, the patrol all the way up. We're not close enough to leveling up for me to think it really matters. We are level 26. Alright, I'll stop for the quests. I don't see the Night Elf Pack patrolling on this side. I think the spawn point is actually right around there. Alright, so actually I am getting someone interested. Alright, so we have one, and I really think they might be able, someone might have eyes on them at least, and oh, I left my coffee. I brought water, but I left my coffee today. That's gonna be sad. But this will be something nice to just get this out of the way, because as far as a quest challenge, this is probably the toughest thing we have to do before we run Shadowfang Keep. And if you don't remember what this is it's a pack of 4 elite, I believe it's 4 elite night elves on night sabers, or maybe some are night elves and some are humans on horses, I don't remember, but it's 4 elite alliance. And the center one, the one that's Aeon Swift Rider, or Eon, or whatever, it makes me think of the old MTV kind of surreal cartoon, Eon Flux. Alright, so we have eyes on the prize. Luckily I can get there kind of fast. I don't know how I missed them, but again, like I said, that's near the spawn point, or they were just to the south and they were padding down that way. So maybe today I will try and be better about doing the harvester check-in off camera. So unfortunately, if I don't do that on camera, if we don't get that done today, we'll check once more at the very end. We'll check whenever we're in that area, but chances are not high. But I'll keep poking through so I can at least have that for us to turn in. We can always look at pictures. I can show you if we have to end up doing it that route. I can show you guys at least what it looks like. I don't know that I got it on camera. I can't remember. I did do it with one of my characters already on this show, and I did manage to get it on my dry run, my Momkin Tauren druid that I have been running stuff with. Yeah, so I was mentioning before, I'll talk as we do other quests. I'll talk about my my current trauma with Nomergon, because that is what that place is best for. If you're farming manual crowd pummelers, whatever the heck they're called, I guess that's one thing. You're going in there at level 60. But good lord, that quest. That dungeon. So that guy that's our partner right there. It's gonna be tough. Alright, so the only one we need is Eon. Okay. Alright, how are we gonna do that? Alright. Alright, so I got that one separated. Attack, 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 attack. Okay. He's resisting all my crap. Okay, I need to get myself out of there. As good as I can.
I'm out of range.
Okay, let's see what we can get going on here. He's separating the pack now. So now, got her going on. I died, but maybe he can kill her. Oof, they got me. Maybe he can kite her. I'm gonna release the spirit and start heading that way. So we shall see. She's down only 400 life, so maybe if he can get lucky and take her down and drop her, we'll be in good shape. Then he could feign death if he has that at 25. I don't remember. We're pretty dang close. He could feign death anyway. I'm not seeing Questy mentioning that he picked up the drop quest. But invite mango juice. Maybe they reset. Alright, so... Oh, there we go. Alright, so now we have another one. Now we should be able to do it. So, they must have despawned or... Oh. Where's the... Where is she? There she is. She's still tagged. Alright, so... Alright, so he's gonna run circles and try to kite those. Okay, and that's gonna be our, That's gonna be... There you go. We got some good, Should have been using that the whole time. Okay, so that's good. He's just leading that pack around. Okay, so got it. Let's go try to save him. Uh-oh, they're gonna chase me now. We'll let him go and reset. You better run off. Better run off, girl. Okay. Okay, we got him to reset, so that's good. Go get him. Go get him, boy. Alright. Okay, good. I think he got it. Yeah, he must have. Alright, so that's cool. We got that one out of the way. If you don't remember what this quest says, it says the official-looking scroll is wrapped tightly with a silvery ribbon. You're sure someone would be interested in seeing this, but who? There is an outpost close to the Ashenvale border to the north, and if the information on this scroll involves the Night Elves, this would be the place to take it. So, we do have to take our behinds up there. And that'll send us into Stone Talon. But I'm gonna now go up north and now we'll pick up these other quests. Alright, so we are making our way up. That's the second half of this is a higher thing. So like sometimes these people will be like, yeah, let's turn it in together. They don't seem to be calling for that. They might not know that this leads to a higher level chain. It's like a level 30 chain. I'm not really sweating it. Don't remember how difficult it is to complete that chain. But we're going to disband group here. They've been looking for Harvester. Doesn't spawn. I mean, it does. Obviously, it spawns at some point. Everyone's always looking for that thing. Which is the downside of not playing on a dead realm. This is the time you want to not be in a dead realm. But I think with retail, I'm very, very tempted to just try and do my best to find a completely dead realm. Because there's the... what do they call it? Like the server... I mean, the now supposedly you can solo dungeons with a little pack, so it's pretty cool. Alright, so we will pick up weapons of choice. This is another one. We did die, we gotta sell and repair while we're here.
The war chief has instructed me to study all kinds of weapons and armor. He has sent me here to
The Razormane Quillbores to the south beyond the Field of Giants have no skilled blacksmiths from what I am told, but they have apparently started to develop sturdier weapons. I'd like to get my hands on a few different types to learn their techniques if possible. If you wish to help bring honor to the Horde, then bring me examples of their weapons. Find me a dagger from their stalkers, a wand from their seers, and a shield from their war frenzy. That should do nicely.
Alright, it's really not too shabby of a quest there. Sometimes you can get some bad RNG, not have one of the ones you want drop, but... Alright, so he has Maran Skyseer and Malorassen's Word, which are both post. We don't need those, actually. And then this guy will give us a quest. He has one that we need. The Betrayal from Within. 3 of my tribe came out of the Kraul to lead the raids against the Horde Tauren. Snort. They are ruthless and cunning, and if you defeat them, then your Crossroads and even most of the Barrens will learn peace. Snort. At least from the Razorman tribe. Snort. Nak, Kuz, and Loch Orcbane are the ones you seek. They're far to the south of the Barrens. One is a spellcaster, another a tracker, and their leader, the one called Orcbane, or a warrior. Kill them, Tauren, like they have killed me. So those two, that one and the weapons of choice come together nicely. You can work on them. We will work on them both at the same time.
Greetings.
Alright, let's put those 3 in. So we got the Rune Scroll. We got, can we read this scroll? I don't know if we can actually read it. No, it's probably in gross Night Elf language. Then we got Weapons of Choice, and then we got Betrayal from Within. So let's open up the old sheety poo here. And back, I'm going to jump back to the Barrens down here if you're working on it on this side. So, let's go. Let's go. Hey ho. And here we go. So we picked up the runed scroll. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We're going to need a little bit more of these. Let's just go ahead and pre-do that. Pick up. And then we also picked up weapons of choice. That was, yeah. And betrayal from within. That's a two-parter, I guess. Okay. We also have a few little random drops now that this is cleaned up. Owatonka. We can get Owatonka's tail spike, as I believe what it is. So he is a storm snout. We also need the things for Chen's keg, a quest we've been on. So we do have a few things to take care of, but yeah, picking up that Aeon Swift Strider, not too shabby. And then we will also Harvester, of course, we're screwed on. And then down there's Washte Tane. You can pick that up as well. And we'll see Gann with Gann's Reclamation. He'll be around here too. But first, let's go take a little crack at Owatonka. He should be somewhere around here, like I said. He is, I believe, one of these Storm Snout type of dudes. It just puts him right here, but I don't think he just sits in one spot. I think he can kind of spawn anywhere. There's another Chen's empty keg. You haven't completed that. We just gotta find him. I would imagine maybe he looks a little different than the others. But not seeing him. Okay. There's another Thunderhead. It's possible. I mean, it seems pretty... Oh, maybe he's an Elite Gazelle. No. That'd be kind of silly. He's like bluish, if I remember correctly. So if we see a bluish Storm Snout, bluish grayish, bluish grayish, we can always peek in on him on the way back too. I don't know where he's at right now. Not really worried. Ooh, that is just a regular rare. Let's get that guy going. That is called Azir the Skyblade. Okay, so now go ahead and drop that bad boy. Let's do it. Probably should have put it on my spot where I was. Oh, he's fitting to die. That was quite nice, quite nice. We did get Dervish Bracers of the Wolf. 3933. Oh yes, that is an upgrade. I will take the Dervish Bracers of the Wolf. Give me those bad boys. Owatonka, did you come while I was looking? But I was not looking? No. Did not. Alright, so let's discuss my Nomergun trauma. So yesterday, I decided to do a full quest run, all set up on Alliance, ready to go. And I had recently done Razorfin Crawl, and I got a pretty good group on my mage, and so I had some returning members of the group, some people that we already had some good chemistry with, and I was optimistic, and I decided I would just take my time. Most of the people had never done it before, and not a lot of people had experience with the dungeon. So we had a positive group. We really took our time. We did every nook and cranny. And by the time I got the group, and it took me 15-20 minutes to rustle up the group, and maybe a little bit more to have them all get there and get the first quest, no gain, turn that in. By the time we did that whole process, and then turned back around and got deep into the dungeon, and oh, by the way, we also had no tank. So we did have a Void Walker, we had one Warlock, and we had one Hunter. So we just used the pets as tanks. The Warlock was really on the more inexperienced side. So that, I mean, they weren't completely awash at sea. All right, we do need this. We need Thunderhawk Saliva Gland. So I guess let's begin by killing these guys. I'm not going to drop full totems for this. So we only need 1. And then we need 5 lightning glands, so we're going to kill these guys too while we're here. This is part of the Chen's empty keg sideline. So, let's start with that part of the process. It took probably, yeah, it was almost 4 hours was spent in this process between getting the team together, running the actual dungeon. Nearly 4 hours. And the worst part was, at the end, we cleared every single Dark Iron Dwarf in the instance that wasn't bugged out. Because there's a little pack of 2 or 3 that... There's Washtepane, he's another drop quest, so we'll pick him up right now while we're here. No drop. So then I'm so frustrated because now I don't want to run the whole instance a long multi-hour quest run just for a chance at that. Very frustrating. So then I was like, well, you know what? My character's level 39. I was like, maybe I can get I can make it down there on my own. So we just got Washtepane's feather. The feather of Washtepane is painful to touch. So we just gained the quest Washtepane. So that's a drop as well. Pick that bad boy up. Add to our list. So right there, that was pain. That was pain. I spent all that time, and the what didn't drop was the grime encrusted ring. If I'm being too vague on that, that is a rare drop quest that you can get in the dungeon, Alliance or Horde. It's, I want to say maybe it's around a 10-ish% drop from any Dark Iron into place. I've had multiple runs where it never drops. But I've never had a run where I went down there like I did and just clear the whole freaking every single Dark Iron. Now, you can quickly run back to it, only having to kill a couple mobs if you're high enough level, like around where I am. What's over here? More of the guys we need to kill. So I decided to do that. I was a little bit tired, a little frustrated, so I died like twice before finally making it down there. I did manage to kill 1 Dark Iron, died again, and then I was like, screw it. There we go, we got the saliva glands, so we don't need any more of the hawks. Just need these storm hides now. Then we're pretty close to getting Chen's empty keg all done. Interestingly, it seems like our storm hides are not immune to lightning shield. You thought maybe they're resistant. Oh, not to mention I'm a frost mage, and then you also have to navigate the portion where you're fighting the elementals, the poison elementals, and they're essentially water elementals, the poison fusion, and they are all immune to frost. But it really is kind of a quick run. You can't take the back door either, not at my level, because there is like a pack of mobs. Now, if you had stealth, whole different story. If you were or maybe even fade, if you were a priest with fade, or you just had stealth, this experience would be better. So for 1/3 of characters in the game, for rogues, druids, and priests, this would be a little bit easier to pull off. As a mage, I don't have that. So when I'm doing this same process with my druid, I'm not as worried. Oh, here's Gann. Let's get Gann's Reclamation, because that's another one of our quests that we need to pick up. As we pick up this pack of quests here.
Peace. I walk this road alone, seeking ways to defend my honor and
walk
rid this
alone.
land of our enemies. What can I do for you, adventurer? In solitude I wander these roads. The dwarves of Baal Modan show no respect for my land. Horrendous blasts drive holes deep into the ground as noisy machines rip apart the hills. Lands which once served as home and provider to my tribe are now riddled with destructive dwarves. Attempts at reaching a diplomatic resolution have failed. Now is the time for decisive action. Drive the dwarves from the Baal Modan excavation by force, and bring to me the journal of their leader, Prospector Kazgorm.
Go in peace.
Okay, so that's just the outer part. That's actually not as hard as it seems. But I wonder. I think we have our level 30 powers. We must, because 26. All right, so we're gonna just keep on hunting in order. I'm not gonna really stress very much. I don't think there's any more drop quests other than the harvester. Fight these guys. We still need 2 more lightning glands. But right now we're getting down into the Quillbore territory. We do need to go there. So these guys, I guess, right here can drop the backstabbers. So you need 1 dagger, I think a shield, and maybe a wand or something like that. A staff, something. They count as actual regular weapons. You can use them. They're white. Okay, we got a scroll of intellect. Guess I'll save that. My inventory's looking pretty good. These pathfinders can drop the backstabbers. I actually think there's a couple packs. It's better actually if we look for these specific guys. See, there are some named ones. So if we look for the guys that have names, right here. Cuz is somewhere around here. So he could be stealth. So we'll just work on killing these guys. But there is, there's one that's named Cuz that's somewhere in this vicinity, I believe. So he also can drop the thing we need. But I don't know. Maybe someone's recently killed him. Hard to say. It's pretty popular. Like, there's a lot of action going on now, and people love that. It's kind of a cool little. I think it's like harpies painted on the stone. That's kind of neat. So no backstabbers so far, and no Cuz. But I do think it's probably better to pick these guys up. Just at least go in the vicinity of where the named mobs are. And they do patrol. So I don't necessarily think that Cuz is gone. And this is, oh, that's cloth. I just think we're in the, he's padded. He might be stealth for all I know. Some of them can stealth, so that too. Just look around, take a peek, take a peeky poo. Oh, there's Cuz right there. So Cuz wasn't, even though he's hanging around all these backstabber guys, Cuz is actually the caster of the 3 named ones we have to kill from Betrayal from Within. That's good. We got one of those 3. Do not have any of the weapons. And notice he does not have a chance of dropping a weapon, so. Let's hit me with the frostbolt, not that. Worried about getting frostbolted. And yeah. Wrong thing. Okay, I basically frostbolted him myself. It was a mutual exchange of frost. Both slowed each other. I slowed him permanently. There's. Yes, if I could. There's another scroll. Full of stamina. Okay, the Seers dropped the wands, so let's kind of take a peek what else we have here. There's guys that drop the war shields. There is another named one somewhere. I guess no. Not over here, I'm in the wrong spot. Okay. So that's just the healing ward. Don't care that much. Huh. Alright, I'm still gonna keep looking for the named guys. There's Locke. Okay, so Tone Loke is... Oh, he's up here in this cave. And then the final one, he does stealth, I believe, and he's kind of in this other spot. We'll just kill as we go. Look, there's a War Frenzy taking a bath. And we'll just kill on our way, and then we might have to grind. And this is a full RNG. Sometimes you'll get the same one 10 times. You know, you'll get 10 knives or 10 shields or whatever it is. And sometimes it's forever with the Sanguine Belt cloth. Okay, getting a lot of cloth gear. Well, I guess not a lot. We got 2 in a row. This is the Southern Barrens experience. This is more appropriate for actually where we are as questers. We're level 26. And so these quests are all nice. They give us XP. They're at a moderate difficulty level. They give us things to do. These are the warriors. They can block. As a shaman, we're sort of in the middle. Because World of Warcraft is definitely very much a game of rock, paper, scissors. And you can just notice that sometimes you really, you're at an advantage or a disadvantage against certain mobs. I would say we are probably at an advantage against Clothies the most. What with our great interrupt and just, you get that speed of... Here's Locke Orkbane. I guess he's the strongest one. I don't know. I'm not even going to use my things. I just don't feel like it. Not quite necessary, even against old Tone Loke. Don't know who Tone Loke is. Kind of a rapper style hip hop guy from my childhood, with a banger of a song called Funky Comedina, and my 10-year-old self thought that song was dope. I don't know that I really understood all of the implications then, but I liked the sick beat in the words. And I would sing the heck out of it. Alright, so we still need all of these weapons. And we are still missing whatever the little turd's name. There he is, Knack, at the far end of the bowl of this valley. And we'll make our way there. And then we'll round it up and kill whatever's left. Ban's Reclamation, that's actually, there's 2 parts to the Baelmodan dwarves. There is the excavation site on the outside, and then there's the part on the inside, which is the harder part. That's where you get the level 30 quest, the Tier of the Kingdom, all that goodness. Okay, so we got the 1. We no longer need to kill the Seers. It's cool. We got 1 of the 3. Bully for us. We do still need the shields, and we do still need the backstabbers. The backstabbers we can probably get close to Knack. He's the stealthy one. We can fight some of these shield dudes. They're having a hard time hitting me too. I'm just, as far as combat goes, our staff is not... Oh, it resisted me. That's unpleasant. Okay, we did not draw any extra. Getting some alerts here, but I have it on silent. I'm still in a holding pattern and dealing with all the internal psychological strife I put myself through with all that. And Oh, there's a stealth guy right there. We can maybe get a crack at a knight at a backstab or two. Hey, we got the shield. All we need is love. I was watching. Yeah, these guys, man. Actually, that's... Yeah, they're just like that. RNG gods. Just took a little smile. There was just the corners of the great RNG god's mouth just curled up just a smidge. And he said, I grant thee thy weapons. You have suffered enough, my child. You may have them all right now. So I was listening to an interesting... So, you know, a big part of my job in its current state is math. I do a lot of math, and I enjoy math. I was listening to... I've always also been a very big music fan, and I was listening to a kind of a podcast that was talking about how... You know, and I know this is to be true, but how music is just math, and your brain is essentially processing and doing all of these equations in real time, and that's why some music sounds better than others, and I don't know the exact connections, if like different kinds of math or some. If you're better at math, will you inherently like music more? I'm not sure. I mean, who doesn't like music, first of all? But there's a heck of a lot of people that don't like math. So, there might be something to be said about how off the charts can you get with your liking of music. There's some, like, music that seems discordant. Like, certain types of jazz is popular to get kind of punked on. We have to kill 15 of these guys? Like, that seems extreme, Gann. 15 seems like a bit murderous, buddy. We're gonna, again, prioritize killing our way to the leader. We need the... Oh, apparently we can also get dig rat stew pieces while we're in here. Or while we're down here, let's do that if we see any little rats. There's one right there. Get that bad boy. Okay, so when you find the rats, they automatically drop the thing you need. Which is a little piece of rat meat. Delicious rat meat. I wonder if that's a running gag going on at old Blizzard to just make as much food. I definitely think when they hit this with Shadowlands for sure. Just gonna make... We need 5 foremen too, so we need 20 of these guys. But I wonder if they say to themselves, let's just make the food as disgusting sounding as possible. Because when you look at some of the foods in Shadowlands, it's like banana, beef, like stroganoff, and weird stuff like that. So keep an eye out. There's another rat, little ratty poo right there. So this is cool. I never actually go down here for the rats. I never do that. So that's kind of neat. This actually might be a better... I normally do it while I'm running around the other portion, but this could be better for us. We can at least get a big chunk of it. Maybe even finish the whole thing. Ow. Because Gann's Reclamation, he'll have another point. Oh, we got the... I didn't even realize that was the dude. So we got the journal. Now we can just kill while we're here. Just some light murder. Oh, someone's coming. I don't want to... My life's a little bit low. I don't want to necessarily aggro another one before I heal. And now I'm keeping my eyes peeled for little rats. In my experience, I usually have more than enough of these foreman killed long before I'm ever ready to roll on the others. There's another rat right there. Let's get him. We've got 3 of our dig rats. I also saw some weird dude at the top, but I think that might be part 2. I don't know. There's a few steps to this Gann's. There's Gann's Reclamation. I think there's 2 steps to the Gann's Reclamation, and then the final one is like Gann's Revenge or something. Alright. So I'm killing in such a way. There's another rat right there. I want that rat. I want it. Okay, so we're halfway through. We have half our rats. This is neat. This is I will probably try in the future to always do my rats in this way. I don't know why I've never done it this way before. I always go outside the front of the little Belmadon proper, but they're called dig rats, so it makes sense that they're pretty common down here in the dig, and you have to kill so many of these stupid dwarves that it gives you one more little thing to do. This is my kind of thing. Improving our cooking all the while. So the next chapter of my pie cooking is going to begin today. I am making a pie. It is called a golden syrup pie. Now, some of these pies I make are from this cookbook. I really think this person is just riffing, kind of going off the top of their head when they made this book and like, this sounds good, and maybe they were successful. Here's another rat. In making this pie good, because they're, an experienced and trained chef, which I am not. I am self-taught. And one of the things I think, for me, I think I underestimate what it takes to be a good cook. I think, you feel like, hey, if I follow a recipe, then I'll be good. But there are so many things that are very hard to interpret when you're reading a recipe that without, maybe if you add some videos in there too, you can increase your chances. And maybe there's a knack for it. There's certainly something to be said about an attention to detail, patience, but a lot of that stuff will go away. The need for it goes away with experience, and just sticking with it. That's the best. When you get enough experience where you don't even have to use a recipe or whatever, that's when the recipe starts to become good, because you can start tweaking it to your tastes. And so I am no chef when it comes to that. My wife is good, because she does that. She will keep on keeping on a lot of the times, whereas I'll kind of get a wild hair up my butt and I make all these recipes like once. But this is the good thing about this pie experience, is it's forcing me to do certain things, like the filling, like the crust, over and over again. And I'm still yet to have what I would consider a pure success. I have yet to have one. I'm hoping I get it with this pie. But this golden syrup pie, so I guess this person worked for a bakery known as the Four Blackbirds Bakery. Never heard of it. And maybe it's a bakery, maybe it's a school that trains bakers. Not really 100%. But this is their homage, or their, maybe not homage, but their love song to that place. And it's full of ingredients that you can't get in a regular store. That's another thing. When you cook your way through a cookbook, a lot of the times these people get fancy, and it's like, dude, where do you think? Maybe if you live in a big city, which I do not, you could get some of this stuff, probably, but I'm usually just figuring out what's the best alternative I can get. Because the other thing is, alright, cool, I'm going to order whatever, saffron or some crap like that. There's my final rat over there. And then, which first of all, saffron I just use as an example. At least you can use saffron in a few recipes, but I use saffron as an example because it's ridiculously expensive. And it has to be cooked. You have to use it correctly because it can destroy a meal. Trust me, I have used it and paid a butt ton of money to straight up destroy meals. Terrible. My experiences with saffron have been terrible. I've like scarred myself with it. Alright, so we are actually doing pretty good here. All of that, we got all our rats. We're down to needing 2 excavators, and we finished Dig Rat Stew. Got all of our other guys. Pretty good shape. I should probably work on getting out of here, but whatever. I'll run out in Ghost Wolf form. So I had, this is called a golden syrup pie. It looks like a custard pie, which I love. I do love a custard pie. They're not for everybody, but I love them. Always have. When I was in college and I was like trying to figure out cheap ways to sustain myself, one of my favorite things to do, if I could splurge, I would go get either a sub from down in the south here. We have our grocery store chain called Publix, but when I lived on the West Coast, there's a very, very similar chain called Safeway, and they really are close. If you're in one spot or the other, if you're a Safeway fan and you want a Safeway sub, I recommend Publix, and vice versa. If you're a fan of Publix food, specifically the Publix subs, and you're on the West Coast, Safeway does a pretty good job. So getting one of those subs, or I would also, this is only on the West Coast, Safeway has a really good soup bar. Also, Safeway is open 24 hours, at least if you're living in the big city, which is way better than the grocery stores in the small cities like where I live now, where your grocery store is closed by 9 o'clock or whatever. So now I'm not young anymore, so I'll be okay without a all-night grocery store. But when I was a young lad, it was quite nice to have a 24-hour full-service grocery store. Also, I worked really late. Sometimes I wouldn't get off till 2 or 3 in the morning, so it was nice to have that option. But there was a turtle bisque, not turtle bisque, a tomato bisque that I would get. Oh my gosh! And I could get like a whole hunk of like an entire loaf of like a French bread or some type of loaf like that. We just need a couple more Stormhide gems here. I mean, not gems, lands. So with these things, I would buy an egg custard pie and a 2-liter of ginger ale. So this is, to me, just perfect. This is if you could take my younger self and say, what would be the perfect meal, you just got paid, what would you splurge? I would buy an entire egg custard pie, a 2-liter of ginger ale, and either a nice long sub, like a 3-meat sub. Alright, so here's Gann's Reclamation Part 1. We're turning that in.
Hail. Ancestors watch over you.
Oh, I wonder if we can read this journal.
Goodbye.
The excavation of Baal Modan. Let's read it. The original survey crew sent by the Explorers League was indeed correct in their findings. The ground here holds artifacts of unlimited value to our people. No doubt we will find many answers in our quest for knowledge beneath the sand and rock of Baal Modan. The geology of the region dictates we use extreme measures, however. Many of the sand deposits have solidified under the harsh conditions and varying climate. The solution is quite simple, however. Using wood pulp as an absorbent, we can combine traces of nitroglycerin with sodium nitrate to develop a strong blasting charge. capable of breaking through even the most dense masses. The work will be noisy and disruptive, but our search is of far greater importance than the comfort of the local inhabitants. In fact, we've already had to drive a band of bullmen out of the area who are proving to be a nuisance. The fact that we are dealing with various rogue elements out here leads me to believe we will need support from the King's army. Not only will the excavation require military support, it would seem to my novice eye that the location of Belmodon might be of strategic value to the Alliance considering the volatility of world politics in their current state. Alas, I have digressed. There is much work to be done beneath the rock, and I've spent too much time writing and not digging.
Well met. Be careful.
Many innocent Tauren lost their lives, or were forced off their ancestral birthplace when the dwarves of Belmodon arrived. My land must be reclaimed.
Asgore met the fate he earned. I feel no remorse for the fool. He was an infidel on these lands. May his death serve as a warning to all those who threaten to disrupt our way of life. Now let me take a moment to study the dwarf's journal.
Revenge
It is
of
clear the prospector depended on explosives and those noisy vehicles to rip the ground apart. We can expect a new foreman to take over soon. I want to give the dwarves a taste of their own medicine. According to these plans, if we combine nitroglycerin with wood pulp and sodium nitrate, we can create an explosive charge. The rifleman, soldiers and officers in the keep are known to have the supplies. Collect these items and bring them to me. I will fashion a charge that the dwarves won't forget.
Okay, so... oh, I forgot to even put Revenge of Gann on there. No, that was Gann's Reclamation. So that was actually the lowest remaining quest that we had. So Gann's Reclamation we actually pick up, drop off. And now we got the first stage of the Revenge of Gann that we just picked up. Now, Revenge of Gann, that's still within our... That's a little tough, though, because that's within the camp. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful. We're not going to get to that one this episode. We have too much to turn in. So this is going to be... I wasn't sure if this was going to take us 1 or 2 episodes to finish. And the answer is 2. So what I'm going to do right now is hunt... we'll have a lot turned in tomorrow. But I'm going to hunt... We need a couple more storm snouts. And we're in storm snout territory, if I could just find them. That'd be nice. And we'll just log right out here by... We'll do one last peek for the harvester. We'll log because we're coming right up on our hour right now. I believe. Let's take a peek. Yeah, we are 2 minutes. I really thought there were some more up here, but guess not. Maybe that side of the road has better ones. So the Revenge of Gann, we'll need to complete that. We do also have to run up and turn in our Dig Rat Stew, which is turned in up there. And we have to go to the top and turn in the Runed Scroll. So no joke on that one. And we'll turn in all the other ones that we have. Oh, we never got Owatonka too, so we're going to have to continue hunting old Owatonka on the next episode. That's easy though. We'll turn in a lot of these bad boys. We really are quite good shape. What's going to slow us down is going all the way up to turn in some of these quests. And probably we will finish these and then actually do our travel over to Shadowfang Keep in the back half of the next episode. So if you hate it when I'm just randomly talking about stuff like pie and music and math, then you could probably, you just never know. I guess if you hated all that stuff, you probably wouldn't be this deep into an episode. So hopefully those of you that like and subscribe, you... In addition to the lore, you're also like, you know what? This guy's not so terrible. I really wish there were things that I could. And I've said this before. What I really need to do is make myself a discussion host. I don't know why we had such good drop rate in the beginning, and now the drop rate has turned into just complete dog water. But I wish I could talk to you guys about the things, because a lot of the times you listen to podcasts, and when I listen to them, the people that you're listening to are, I wouldn't say that they're necessarily experts, but they're quite versed in whatever field, and that's what makes them interesting. That we can allow ourselves to learn and broaden our horizons a little bit, without doing the things that other people, the full years of experience it might take to gain an appreciation or a body of knowledge or whatever. And I think all of us have that. You know, as you get older and older, you're gonna gain that in one way, shape, or form. We all have a life experience. We all went to... No, we didn't all go to college, but you might have gone to college, probably worked a job, and even if not, even if you just sit at home and you've never had to go to college, and you've never had to carry a job, or you've never carried one for a long time, and sit around watching TV and either in the dregs of the deepest poverty, or maybe you're on disability, or maybe you have somebody that takes care of you. Even then, you're an expert at whatever, the shows you watch or whatever. Like, you've probably seen freaking every season. You've probably binged so many shows. So, if you could probably talk at length for hours and hours and hours about such and such episode, the shows, whatever Google holes you've went down researching that kind of crap. I don't think we should go down there for the Gann thing too. We'll decide that next time. I really am just being stubborn. I want this last Chen's hide, and then I'm gonna park us by the harvester. I mean, not Chen's hide, whatever storm hide thing. But what holds me back is a couple things. One, and I've talked some about my college experiences in the past, about my studies. You know, I've talked some about the math. Talked some about. I've done a couple episodes where I talk about my how I kind of did a minor in foreign languages and how much time I spent studying foreign languages. So I have dabbled in that water a little bit, but the problem is that it's kind of twofold for me. One, there is so many conversation topics nowadays are political, and a lot of, you know, you listen to podcasts or whatever, a lot of those people, they can kind of let their opinions ride on their sleeve a little bit because that's all right. Their audience is probably tuning into them because they share some of their views and they don't mind that, you know, or they're listening and they're going to be like, you know, bugger off or whatever. Like, they're going to complain and leave the comments and say you suck and stay off the politics or whatever. But I know, for me, when I play World of Warcraft, which is, again, this podcast that's ultimately my audience here, is you guys, people like me that play this game. I despise it when people talk about politics in the game because it's obnoxious. There's like a psychological element about the way that you talk about opinions, especially politics, and on a game that is just so, when you can hide behind a keyboard and you're not looking someone in the eye, just something about it that makes people obnoxious. I don't care, right or like left, right, in the middle, libertarian, freaking Green Party. I don't care what your side of the spectrum is. It's just this, I just read this study the other day that said the least useful thing in combating, in either attempting to change someone's mind politically, or let's say you're addressing theories that you don't agree with, conspiracy theories or whatever, that you consider conspiracy theories, because obviously what might be a conspiracy theory to one person could be hook, line, and sinker bought in by someone else, and they firmly believe it. It upholds their paradigms of the world. Is facts. So that's the least persuasive argument. People don't care. And that's true. How many times have you ever gone into an argument about differing political views and presenting facts, and it gets you nowhere? Nowhere. It doesn't matter. So, I mean, I literally can't talk about anything, even with my own family, the people I love. I just don't talk about anything like that. No politics, nothing, because my family is so divided. We all have different religious views. We all have different political views. So it's just such a... And ultimately, anybody listening to this show, and my family, and anybody, they're entitled to their own opinion. And they're entitled to have their own experiences shape the way they vote, or the way that what they follow, or what they teach their kids. And just like I would never want anyone to try to dictate for me how that looks. Everyone is also entitled to the same thing. So, and you're fooling yourself if you think otherwise. Like, I've actually said that in chat before, kind of a paraphrasing of this argument, where I'm like, you're not going to get on here and change anyone's mind. You're not going to start typing in chat, screw left politics, screw Democrats, screw Republicans, whatever it is. You're not going to get on there and someone's going to be like, you know what? When they said that Biden or Trump or whatever, when they said that that person was a child molester or whatever, that they're too old, or that they're ridiculous, or they're a pervert, or whatever, this light just dawned in my head, and I realized that's true. And I need to switch my political party, and I'm gonna vote for the other guy, or not vote. It's never gonna happen. That's not how it goes. Oh, there you go, finally. So, that's reason number one. And the reason why this tied into what I can and can't say is a big portion of what I studied, depending on where you live in the world, my main focus is highly politicized. So, I really, especially in today's climate, I cannot even begin to discuss what I spent, 5 years studying and consider myself an expert on, without getting into that territory, and this is not the venue for that. So I stick to the things that ended up becoming what I got my professional degree in, which is math, and the foreign language aspect, which is fairly neutral. And the second reason why is because I hold a kind of a public position. Now, I'm not... I am beholden to a contract that, kind of like an athlete, although I am not an athlete in any way, shape, or form, but in the sense that an athlete can get in trouble with their team if they do something morally questionable out and about in their lives, and they can be subject to possibly even being struck from their team. Whereas there are many jobs that exist where you could, get into domestic violence, or you could have a DUI or whatever, and just go to work the next day. there's a social element, social contract element. My profession, I am a government employee. So there's that piece. I have to be, so anything that I have to say, I don't have social media. I don't, none. I don't have Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. I Twitter, X, whatever. I don't have any of it. I stay as invisible as I can outside of this podcast. That's why I try, other than a couple slips here and there, I try to not reference the name of anyone I know. So I have to walk that line too, because so then that takes my profession out of the equation too. So the thing that I'm expert in, I can't even really talk about my field, and I can't talk about my studies. So instead, I just try to stick to the game. We did not get the Harvester again. We've made great progress. I think Revenge of Gann. Revenge of Gann. We picked that up, and yeah. So next time, we went a little over today, but I really wanted that Storm Snout stuff. Next time we play, we're going to look for the Harvester. Maybe I'll already have it by then. We do need to pick up Owatonka, and we need to get the Revenge of Gann Part 2 in there. If you look at the overall thing, we can turn in pretty much all of these. There is a second Betrayal from Within that we'll get, and that's it. So we have to just go turn everything in. And we have to get Owatonka. We have to do the second Betrayal from Within, wrap up the second Revenge of Gann, turn in all of those quests, and then we'll head over to Shadowfang Keep. So that'll be fun. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, for listening to me, for tuning in. I hope it was, I hope it gave you a little enjoyable background noise. I'll see you guys next time on Lore of Warcraft.